someone's listening to this right now, they're experiencing fear, both because of what's happening globally and what's happening internally.
Yeah.
They know the incongruity of their lifestyle. What would you say directly to that person listening that's saying, I don't know that I got oil in my lamp right now?
Yeah. I would say, fear is normal. It is part of the human experience. And I think that we first have to normalize fear, right? I don't think I've ever met a person who did not have fear, right? But I have met people who have learned to fear less and learned to just do what they have to do afraid. And so I do think when we look at the times, it's very easy for people to turn on the television, look at the times, hear conversations like this and feel afraid. And so I think we want to normalize that so they don't condemn themselves. But at the same time, what I do think is that fear should not paralyze us from stepping into everything that God has called us to do and being faithful to the Lord Jesus Christ. I believe that we should do things afraid. If we have to preach afraid. If we have to share the gospel, share it afraid. If we got to witness to somebody, witness afraid. If we got to take a stand for righteousness, take that stand afraid. Right? I think the thing we should fear most is the one who has the final say-so in our soul. Right? We should fear him most. Jesus said something very powerful to the apostles. He said to them, he was going to send them out, he said, like sheep amongst wolves. He said, go and preach and teach and heal. And he said, don't be afraid of men. Don't be afraid of those who kill the body but can't touch the soul. But instead, be afraid of the one who could throw body and soul in hell. So in that text, he talks about two types of fears, the fear of man and the fear of God. I think we got to choose which fear we want to have. One of them is going to cost us our calling and will cost somebody their eternity. The other one will give us boldness in the face of contention and strife. And so if we're going to fear anyone, we need to fear the one who has the final say-so over our soul and not fear men. I think the fear of men is what's making a large group of the church cowards and is making us afraid. I mean, if we really take the words of Jesus literally, when he says, don't fear man, don't even fear those who can kill the body, but fear those who will throw body and soul to hell, then he's even saying, don't even have fear to the point of death. Right? And I think if we get that in our heart, what is the enemy going to do with a person like that? Right? What is a radical ideology going to do with a person like that? And so I think that while we all have fear, we just got to choose. Are we going to let fear paralyze us? Or are we going to step into everything that God has called us to do? And ultimately, are we going to fear man or are we going to fear God? I've made my choice. You've made your choice.
Yes,
I think the other people have to make their choice. What they don't want to do is hear that trumpet blow and they have no oil in their lamps. Because when the Lord comes, everybody's fate will be sealed. There will be no second chances, right? There is no purgatory, right? None of that is biblical. And so we got to know what side we're on now. And that is very important for believers to decide that before time is run out.